medium Louie by UhOh Creations. Actually, it's just gorgeous. And this purple.
Hi everyone, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs. I'm getting ready to make another selfish sew. You know, I have found that I have 2 bags that I absolutely love. There's probably more than that. There's probably 3. I love the Retro Sling by Can Do Crafts. I love that pattern. But I typically only use that when I'm traveling. And then I love the Modified Aries by Knotted Threads. And then I love the Louie Waist bag. I know it. I've been carrying a Knotted Threads Modified Aries for a while now, and I just decided that I wanted to switch over to a Louie. So here's what I'm making it out of. Leather. So purple leather, I know it's shocking. And then this for my lining. Yeah. So this is a fairly soft leather. It doesn't need anything else. I don't believe it's meant to be kind of a little bit of a slouchy bag, waist bag. I am, for the first time, this is the large, by the way. No, this is the medium. It's called the medium. I am going to be doing 1.5 inch webbing instead of 1 inch. So I haven't done that before. I've always used 1 inch. So I'm going to go grab me some webbing, some zipper tape, and we're going to get started. I'll talk about each piece as we go. Before this clip, you'll see the finished product. Let's get started. All right, so I am going to do my strap first. And I do my strap where it's removable. I just prefer that. So I use 2 swivel clasp and a slide adjuster. So that's what I'm going to do. We just put it over the slider, clip that together, and put 2 rows of stitches there. I am using some purple variegated thread, Tex 80. This is from Wizardry. I think it's called UBE. UBE. If I remember correctly. So I'm just doing 2 rows of stitches. I'm not even going to cut my threads in between. I just want to say thank you for everybody for reaching out during and after the hurricane. We got nothing practically. A little wind, a lot of rain, no flooding, and the wind just knocked some things off the trees and the palms. Nothing big. Tony got 2 big bags of yard waste that he collected and we sent out in the trash Saturday. That's it. But I appreciate everybody reaching out. Now I will say that within a mile of us, we are in flood zone B. So flood zone A was evacuated. Now, if people chose not to go, they didn't do so well, unfortunately. I don't think anybody in our immediate area died, but there's a lot of flooded homes. People lost near everything. So very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. So within a mile, though, there were flooded homes. We actually, when we moved here, considered buying over there. And thank goodness we did not. I'm just saying. And we are far enough away from the bay. And we're not really that far. I bet we're 2 or 3 miles from the bay, Tampa Bay, the big body of water. But those that were closer obviously didn't do so well. So there's a lot going on. If you know anybody, and actually some of our fellow subscribers didn't do well. So keep them in your prayers. If you live close to somebody, help them if you can, because it's devastating, actually. It's pretty devastating. And there's another hurricane in the Gulf. It's not a hurricane yet. I should say it's a disturbance. You know, and they're not sure it's going to develop, just like always. You never know. But if it does, it has the potential to do the same path, which is scary. But anyway, I appreciate it. We were spared this go around. We didn't even put our shutters up. So, Tony's mom is on her way down. She'll be here tomorrow. Very exciting. She can hardly wait. She is so ready to be here. I said, are you sure? Because, you know, we just had a hurricane. She goes, I don't care. As long as I'm with you guys, I'll be fine. I said, that's right. As long as we're together. All right. There is our strap. Now, I used 1.5 inch, so like I said in the beginning, I've not done 1.5 inch straps on a Louie before, but I really prefer them. So let's get started. All right, so take your back bottom lining and put your zipper on right side up. They're both right side up. Your zipper should be closing to the left. I know that feels wrong. The zipper head is to the left, okay? And we're gonna base that in place. I know it feels weird. You don't know, but I can't. I've made so many of these. I have to tell you, you'd think I could do it without the pattern. It's been a hot minute though, so. Wavy. Okay, I'm gonna go iron that. Just it's a little wavy. Do you see it? All right, so take your back bottom exterior and sandwich that together, and then we're gonna top stitch. We're gonna stitch that at the full seam allowance, turn it wrong sides together, and top stitch. I've used quite a bit of leather lately. I'm gonna have to go to Tandy and get some. I just missed a big sale, of course. That's okay. What I buy is always on sale anyway, so. Just getting my zipper pull out of the way. Now you could definitely do this without your zipper pull and add it later if you chose to. Okay. See, and now your zipper pull is going to the right. I knew there was a reason she said to do that. I forget every time. Yep. Okay, so I'm just clipping my bottoms together, and then we're going to get this nice and taut and top stitch. Slow is the name of the game. Perfect. Okay, oh my, that looks pretty good. All right, next step. Okay, so now take your back lining and put that, lay it right side up, and then lay your, what you just created with your zipper on top of that. So you should see the exterior back bottom, and you should see the right side of your zipper. Because when we open our zipper, we're gonna see the inside, which is absolutely gorgeous fabric. And I am just gonna base that in place, and then we'll add our back top. I actually need to decrease my pressure on my foot and see if that helps. A little bit. I rarely mess with my settings because it's almost always perfect. All right, now we're going to lay our back top exterior on top of that and sew that together at the full seam allowance. I have several videos out there with this, so this really isn't meant to be a full tutorial, although it's ending up that. And let's sew that together at the full seam allowance.
Virginia Taylor.
Okay, that was my mother-in-law. She is on her way. She didn't even know where she was on the drive. I love it. It's funny. So it's her son-in-law, Tony's brother-in-law, and one of her granddaughters. It's a beautiful thing. They're on their way. All right, so I finished putting that tape on the top, and now we're just gonna top stitch across the back top. I told her son is working very hard over there. I was over there all morning, and I put contact paper, you know, drawer liner in all her drawers and cabinets and everything. You know, it's an old place, and it had some really old contact paper that wouldn't come up. So we covered it. It looks really good now. So that's a good thing. All right, so there's our piece. Now, what we're gonna do is, let me grab my template. I had templates for this pattern. I think I have templates maybe for 3 patterns, not very many. And we're gonna lay that, and on the template you have lines for where your zipper is. And so you mark your template, you mark your piece, and we're gonna trim it to that size. It's a little bit hard to do with a zipper pull on, I will say. It's doable. Okay. Now what I like to do is stitch around that just inside that line before I cut it. That way I have everything all together and it doesn't get askew on me. So just inside that line that I drew, and then we'll trim it. Well, let's trim that, and if I need to, I'll wipe that down. So I'm cutting right outside my stitches. On that line. Cut through your zipper tape. Okay. Perfect. So that is your back with your zipper pocket. Perfect. Love it. All right, set that aside. All right, for your main piece, outside exterior, which ends up being the front, that's where I'm putting my tag. So I just centered it 2 inches up from the bottom. And I'm gonna, because there's no interfacing on this, I'm just gonna use a little piece of Decabelle. Make sure you got it right side up. Have you ever put yours on upside down? I am not gonna confess to having done that. Let's just hammer that down. I am going to put a little piece of fleece over that. Okay, I got to hammer that. It didn't really hammer very good. There we go. Now let's add that fleece. And I just dropped it on the floor, so I'm just going to cut another piece. That way it just doesn't rub on anything. And there you have your tag. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. All right, for this, we're gonna do our zipper now. We're gonna set these 2 pieces aside, our back and our front. We're gonna set those aside. So take your little, I don't even know what she calls them, the zipper flange. You should have 2 lining and they should be mirrored. And you should have 2 exterior that are mirrored. Okay, so we're gonna lay the exterior right side up. And I'm gonna clip that in place. On both ends, on the same end of the zipper. Now I'm making the medium, so you should have the size zipper that she tells you to in the pattern. Don't make it longer, don't make it shorter. It should be what she tells you to. That's a big deal. Ask me why, because I thought, you know, I always get kind of smart and think I need a little longer zipper. No, I think the first time I made this, I was like, no, that's not working. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna baste this in place just along the straight edge. For now, actually, yeah. You know what? I've gotten in the habit of doing these together, so I'm just gonna do it. So take one of your lining pieces and add that right sides down on your interior of your zipper. Okay. Same side of your zipper as your exterior pieces, but you're sandwiching your zipper in between. Okay. Now we're only going to stitch up to, on the pattern piece, there is a dot. So we're going to stitch up to that dot, and then we're going to pull these pieces to the side. Don't get too hung up on this. It doesn't need to be completely perfect. Okay, so let's just watch how we do it. And I'm doing it from the lining side. And I'm just kind of monitoring underneath my exterior. So I'm getting to that dot. Whoops, and it went too far. And then leave your needle down, and then we're going to kind of turn and I always like to have my oh dear, I don't know where my Kellys are. That's not good. Oh well. So pull your exterior, and we're gonna get that just right with the end of the zipper, and just kind of go off the edge. Okay. Like I said, doesn't need to be perfect, but that's what it looks like. So we just went over. Now when we fold this over, I am gonna baste it together. Pull those two flanges together and baste them closed. Top stitch and baste all three sides. It's a little finicky, I will say, but it works. No matter how good I do it, it works perfect every time. So I wouldn't really get too hung up on it. You want it to look nice, obviously. There we go. All right, I'm gonna do my top stitching along my zipper first, and then I'll baste the others closed. Then I'll just pivot and close the other two edges. Okay. Perfect. So that's what you have. That's all it is. Now this will get caught in the seam, so again, don't really worry too much about that. All right, I'm gonna do that on this other side. I think I'll do it from the front this time, just because. Perfect. Fold the wrong sides together. Clip those. And top stitch and close the sides. That definitely gets easier every time you do it. You know, it's not a perfect process, but it works every time. Okay, so let me show you. So you just make sure that it's on the same side of the zipper. So I have it on the same side. Okay, next step. All right, so for my zipper, I'm gonna lay my exterior right side down on top of the straight edge of my zipper that doesn't have anything on it. I thought about doing raw edge, and then I thought, no, I don't want to do that. Let me make sure I got that on there straight. And then I'm gonna add my lining with my zipper sandwiched in between, so I can do them in one stitch. If you feel more comfortable, then baste your exterior on. So my lining right side down. I'm using 1/8 double side tape, and it just doesn't hold as well, but I didn't want to use 1/4 inch. I don't really want to gum up my needle. Okay, perfect. All right, let's sew that together, and then we'll turn top stitch and close the open ends. Out of the way. Oh, there are 2 zipper pulls on here, by the way. You can just do one if you want. She calls for 2, and I like 2 personally. And then put your wrong sides together, and we'll top stitch and close the open part of the zipper. And because this is leather, this shouldn't really have anything to do with it, but it doesn't, you can't iron it nice and flat, so I like to put probably some extra clips. All right, let's top stitch next to the zipper. Then I'm just going to go backwards and close that end, and then come forward on this raw edge. there is your zipper gusset. Look at that purple, purple, purple. So we're going to take the bottom gusset, exterior and lining, and we're going to sandwich that on top of our zipper gusset. And we'll make one big circle. Okay, lining to lining, exterior to exterior, and sew those together at the seam allowance, which I believe I've kind of gone by the seat of my pants. Let's see, seam allowance, where is it? Okay, yep. It's the same throughout the entire pattern. I should have known that. Okay. Oh my. A little excessive there, Barb. Okay. And let's put those right sides together. I mean, wrong sides together and top stitch that. Just looking for my stitch length. It's 4. I'm leaving it at 4 the whole way through. Okay. And then we'll repeat that with this other side. So bring those right sides together. And mine fits perfectly. I'll talk about if it doesn't here in a minute, because it may not for you. It hasn't always for me. I'll talk about that here in a second. Okay, let's stitch that together. And we'll turn that and top stitch. So let's turn it right side out. Now, if this doesn't match here, just trim it a little. Mine matches actually perfectly. There might be a tiny bit right there, and a tiny bit right there, but I'm just gonna leave it. But if yours doesn't, which is sometimes the case, just trim it just a little. Now just top stitching that last side. I'm gonna have to either get these scissors sharpened or find me a pair of sharp ones, because they are awful. All right, so there's you have your zipper gusset. All right, next step. All right, I do mine a little different than she does in the pattern. I don't use one of those side release buckles. I use the strap, just like a regular crossbody strap, so I can detach it if I want to. So you saw that in the beginning. And then for these, I just have my D-ring on a piece, and it's the same length that she tells you to in the pattern, but I leave about 1 inch hanging out. Yep. And so the D-ring is inside here. Just be careful when you're sewing. So we're gonna close this side and leave this straight edge open. And then we'll pull that out. Now I am going to trim that, but I am not going to trim my D-ring. I will try and trim this corner just a little, and then we'll pull that out. Perfect. One of the reasons I do it this way, number one, I like to have a removable strap. Number two, this gets really bulky in the seam when you attach it. So I don't do it that way anymore. And I just really like a removable strap. You know, if something happens to your strap, then the whole thing isn't ruined. You know, it gets cut or something happens and you want to replace it, you can easily do it this way. Okay. So now I am going to stitch around my connector. I'm going to start here on the side and back stitch there, so when I finish you don't see any back stitching. And I'm going to come up and turn. I need to come one more. My D-ring, oh, scary. Now, I probably will do another row of stitches. I'm gonna come up. I probably won't do 3. She has you do 3, and it looks good. I've done 3, and it looks really good. So, you do you. But I think this time I'm just gonna do 2. Okay, I'm gonna start, and I'm just gonna do an 1/8 from where my other stitches are. Or so. Doesn't have to be perfect. Consistency is better than being precise here. Let me do one more little stitch. There we go. Okay. I think that's all I'm going to do. So there's one. And that isn't going anywhere. It's got 2 stitches there plus this seam here. So I'm just going to repeat that with this other connector. Trim it. Yeah, and there's not really trimming much of that. Pull it out and top stitch. Perfect.
scoot over and do my second row. Now, the one thing I will do, because I left these a little bit long, which is fine, I am going to do a row of stitches next to my D-ring. Yeah, I probably wouldn't leave them this long again. It's fine. But, I don't want that D-ring flopping around everywhere. So let's just do that here too. Okay, those are done. Let me clean these up. Big day tomorrow. Mom's gonna be here. She's moving into her new place. It's fabulous. A lot of hard work. Okay. So there are two wings per se. And now we're gonna take these on the back. And we are going to lay these just an inch down from the top. And I just usually put a little mark there. It's typically right where your zipper starts, but not always. Yeah. Okay. And I just told you a measurement, that's okay. So I'm gonna lay that and we're gonna baste those in place. So with the wing slanted side down, we're gonna add both of our wings. Okay, so it should look something like that. Should be pretty even. Yeah, and we're just gonna baste those on. And let's baste this side. All right, there's the back. Now I'm feeling like this is pretty floppy, and I think that's okay. That's okay. All right, next step. All right, one thing I didn't do was I didn't baste my gusset together, so we need to do that. And then we'll find the centers. I kind of got slacky there, didn't I? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's just baste these closed. Oh, the husband's home from a hard day at work at the condo. I got dinner all ready. Alright, let me go get dinner. Find your centers though, on the bottom and the top gusset. And just clip those or mark them in some way. Put your side gussets together and find them. I wouldn't clip your zipper though. You can mark it, but I wouldn't put a clip in your zipper. Okay. Next up. All right, so on this front piece, because there isn't anything else, I put a piece of this very thin foam that I've never used before. Somebody sent it to me from Amazon. It's kind of nice. It gives it just a little bit of structure, which this really needs, so we'll see. All right, so your main piece is right side up. Your gusset is wrong side out. And we are going to, just trying to mark my center here, attach the zipper side to the front main, the raw zipper side. And we're going to sew that all the way around. You do want to make sure that this mark that you made over here is where your gusset goes. So your zipper should be right side down. So your main panel and your zipper is right sides together. And you have another mark over here where your gusset goes. So just keep that in mind. Now, I am not snipping my zipper, so I am gonna just squeeze it in there and make it work on these top corners, and it'll be fine. I will clip the bottom corners, most likely. We'll see. Let's clip the bottom corners. Half your seam allowance. Just needs a little to get spread out. Take your time on this, because this is the front. Very visible. Okay. Now let's sew this together with the full seam allowance. You know what? Let me check my bobbin. No, I don't have enough to finish. Let me put a new bobbin in. That would have been not good. All right, all the way around. Go slow around your corners. Spread out your corner. Okay, now we're coming up to the zipper, so just take your time. Let's turn it and let's just see how we did. Oh my, that looks good. Perfect. Let's make sure it zips. Oh boy. You guys, look at those corners. There's not one pucker to be seen. You know what I did? You know what it was? I sewed in my zipper pull. I'm like, what made that terrible noise? That is hilarious. No harm. I'm surprised it didn't break a needle. You guys heard it. That's funny. It's not really funny. There it is, right there in the seam. Baby. Let's get that out of there. It's very bad. All right, let me fix that. I'm surprised it didn't break my needle. Let's see if that's better. Oh yeah. That is funny. I cannot find a decent pair of clips. Very bad. Okay. So yeah, this foam, I'll link it in the description. I don't even remember what it's called. I'll go look it up. Wow. Perfect. All right, so with your front piece wrong side out, and with your lining, I mean your exterior main, you can see it, I should say, but it's wrong side out. Take one of your lining pieces, mark your centers, and we're gonna fold this all in. I'm gonna move these up. So fold that all in, and we're gonna place that right on top. Oops. Make sure you have the bottom connected to the bottom. And we're gonna leave a turning hole here. So one side of this bag has a binding and one side does not. This side does not have binding. So just squish your zipper in there. Okay, take your time. I'm kind of taking my time today, aren't I? It's okay. This is probably the most difficult part of this bag because you have to be
careful of your zipper tape. It's not really hard, it's just you need to take your time. And then I'm going to mark the hole that I'm leaving. And if you know me, I leave a pretty good hole, but I don't think I need to leave a huge hole this. I'll tell you how much I'm leaving. I'm leaving about a 6-inch hole. All right, so you want to sew from the other side and make sure that you're staying either on or just inside your previous row of stitching. So I guess I need to mark over here. And if you need to get your fingers in there to kind of feel your zipper, then do it, because I do. And I am going to reach in there and move my zipper pulls out of my way. There we go. Ah, so much better. Again, on these corners, I need to actually feel where my zipper is. So I kind of unclip it and get in there. Beautiful. Now, I don't remember if she says to trim this. Yeah, just at the bottom curve. All right, let's turn it right side out. See how we did. Yeah, I left a 6-inch hole and it turns easily. So. Okay, I'm just looking, number one, to make sure I don't have any of my previous stitches showing, which I don't. And I'm going to turn it right side out so I can test my zipper. Make sure it works and I didn't get too close. Perfection. Okay. Okay. So that's what you have. Now, this, actually I need to just do it like this. Leave it like this with the right side out. And this little area here, clip any threads. You don't want those showing once you get done on the inside. And then I take a piece of double-sided tape, and we're gonna lay that on this seam. Let me see, I'll show you here a second. So here's the hole that we need to close. And I laid some double-sided tape on this side of that seam because we're gonna fold this over onto it. So take the paper off. This is bonded nylon, so the paper does not like to come off. There we go. And then just fold that under. And cover your seam that is there. It's a little tricky, but take your time because it'll be worth it in the long run. Okay, perfect. So there is taped on there. And now we are going to do a top stitch on the front, and that will catch that seam. So turn your bag. I do it this way. There's multiple ways to do it, but I start with it here on the bottom, and I'm going to pull those threads to the back. So I get it under there. Get your needle out of the way. And we're going to start on the bottom and top stitch all the way around. And I'm going to pull those threads to the back so I didn't back stitch. And if all things work well, it should catch that we just taped in place. Go slow around your corner. And if it helps, open your zipper. It does help a little bit, actually. Now go over your zipper pull like I did earlier. Keep your zipper out of the way. Almost there. And I'm going to pull this thread. Okay, let's tie those off and see how we did. Even up your threads, so much easier to tie off. Now, if you did not, I usually do have no trouble catching this, but if you don't, I may not have caught it good today. You can do just a couple whip stitches, hand stitches. Yeah, it's actually okay. So that's what it looks on the inside. It caught this seam down here and closed that off. And then let's take a gander what it looks like on the outside. So that top stitching all the way around. Perfect. Next step. All right, so I missed this step. I always do. Take your back and add one of your linings. Wrong sides together. And we're just gonna baste around those, because this is the side that is bound. I don't know why I missed this step. Every time. I do it every time. It's not like once or twice, it's every time. But no harm, because you can do it now, because we're ready to put the bag together. Okay, let's just baste all the way around, and I'm just gonna do it from the front. So I see what I'm doing. Okay, perfect. Just turn it over and make sure you caught your lining. Yep. And if you have any overhang, like I do, just a little bit right there, just trim that off, because this is the bound side, so you want it to be fairly even. Not much, just a little. All right. And then take your front part, open your zipper. I think it's easier. Make sure you've marked your centers, and we're just gonna clip that right sides together. And we'll see if we have to do any snipping. I don't know. Maybe. I'm gonna clip in here. I don't remember if I've had to snip this part. Yeah, I think I do. You should have marks too, so make sure you're connecting your marks where your gusset goes. And then you'll have to determine if you need to do any corner snipping. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna do just a few little snips on all my corners. On the gusset, not on your main piece, but on the gusset. And I forgot, I had already snipped that. Oh my gosh, how miracle is that? I wondered why it was fitting so good. Yeah, and I already snipped that corner of my gusset. Oh, no wonder it's fitting beautifully. Mm-hmm. Perfect. What time is it? Okay. Okay. All right, next step. All right, let's sew this together and then we'll bind this side and then we'll be done. I know. On my zipper pull, that little sneaky one. So there's no zipper on this part, which is helpful, you know. No zipper tape. Alrighty. Let's just trim this so our seam is pretty even before we bind. Don't over trim. I'm really saying that for myself. Okay, that looks actually pretty good. Now, I gotta decide. I have this, which actually looks good. I think I'll use that. I don't think this is big enough, but let me see. Might be a big enough piece. So how I do my binding, and I think Kasai is doing it this way now too. I actually learned this from BJ. Yeah, perfect. It's plenty big. BJ taught me how to do this. So I measure, and so it's a nice snug measurement because I am going to be, there's no right or wrong side to this, putting in a seam allowance. I'm stitching it together. Let's see how this does. The good old thumper doesn't really like thin fabrics like this, so if I just go slow, he might be okay. Yep, he did okay. Then I'll just trim that and I'll cut my corners off. This is the best way to do binding. Thank you, BJ. So now I have one continuous piece, and so I'm going to put it on the bottom, my seam that I just created. You still need to clip it, but if you look at that. It just fits perfectly. I mean, it's the only way to do it. So BJ is the one who taught me that. I'm giving her full credit. And now Kasai's doing it. It's a trend. I love it. It's so much easier, you guys. I mean, it makes all the difference, really. I could have maybe even gone a little snugger, but this will be fine. You don't want to overstretch your fold over elastic. You want it to be snug, but not too tight. Then it kind of crunches your bag. I can't wait to see what this looks like. Okay, let's see. Let's put an extra clip there. All right, I always sew it from with my gusset up. And we're gonna start on the bottom. Oops. There we go. All right, here we go. Get my stiletto so I don't get my fingers under my needle. I put my clips on upside down, so it's harder to get them off. It's funny. see how we're doing. Alright, let's see how I did. I already know I missed a couple spots, but that's okay. Yeah. So in that case, I'm just going to go around with the bag side up one more time, just so I can catch everything. It's probably easier to do that than to try and fix all your one little tiny half-inch spots. I personally think so. We're just going to do it that way. And I only missed a few little spots, like a half an inch, but like I said, I just think it's easier to do this than to try and just do little half-inch areas. Plus, I think it looks better. But nobody's going to see your binding, really, except for you. This is some really old binding, and it just doesn't do as well as the new kind of fold over elastic. I don't know what noise that is. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. 100% better, I'll tell ya. Okay. So there it is. So I just did 2 rows of stitches all the way around, and that caught everything. Is it perfect? No, it's not. That's okay though. Let's turn it right side out. I love the Louie bag. I just, you know, if you're out and about, it's what all the kids are carrying now. Let me turn you up here. Hi guys. It's a small bag, and it's plenty for what everybody needs. Let me grab my strap. Oh my gosh. And this is leather. Let me push my corners out. Oh my gosh, you guys. It smells like leather. So there it is. You can hear the strap, but there it is. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Now this is meant to be kind of a slouchy bag. I did add a little of that foam. I'm gonna go get it so I can show it to you. I don't think I have any here, no. And then you have your back zipper, which is perfect for my cell phone. So here's my cell phone. That's where I keep mine. I just shove it in there wherever I go. It's in there. And then for the lining, look at the size of that pocket. It's huge. This is the medium. The other thing I really like about this, how wide it opens. Look at that. This is my new bag. I'm just looking to see if there's any little hairs I need to. Let me make this a little shorter. Oops, that made it longer. There we go. The Louie, the medium Louie by UhOh Creations. Actually, it's just gorgeous. And this purple is leather. I love it. It's my new bag. I know. I've kind of done some selfish shows lately. But because I know when my mother-in-law gets here, we're going to be doing some sewing for her. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.